What's up, guys? So Sony dropped their state of play today, and it was actually pretty good, So some announcements were expected, some came out of nowhere, and overall it feels like they're setting the stage for a huge 2026. Instead of just giving a rundown, I want to give why certain games stood out, and how they stack against past releases, and what I actually think about them. So let's start with House of Marquet. So they finally gave us a proper look at Sorrows, and this is one of the big takeaways for me. I like Returnal, but it wasn't exactly easy for everyone to get into. Sorrows feels like a game where they're trying to take what worked and actually make it stick for a wider audience. The permanent progression system is a big deal, and that's something Returnal could have used. You could tell they listened to feedback and are trying to fix the start from scratch problem. I couldn't help but think about how House Marquet has always been known for tight arcade style shooters. Resoguns, Next Machina. Those are all about mechanics, and Sorrows feels like they're finally blending that DNA with the scale of a blockbuster. This might be their big mainstream hit, the one that puts them up there with bigger Sony studios. So the release date is March 2026, and it was basically around the corner, and I'm honestly glad they didn't drop another vague in-development teaser. This feels like Sony finally learning to show stuff that's actually close. So let's move on to Marvel's Wolverine. So Insomniac had a lot to prove with this one. The trailer gave me the confidence, the tone is darker, and the combat is gritty. It feels like they're not afraid to lean into who Logan really is. It's really refreshing because superhero games usually play it safe. What really caught my eye was the attention to the cast of villains and side characters they showed. Mystique, Omega Red, Sentinels. That lineup already feels bigger than just a personal revenge story. Insomniac could have just made a solo Wolverine versus the world topping game, but they're clearly trying to give it a bigger universe, and since the guys know storytelling with Spider-Man, it's hard not to trust them here. Personally, this was a highlight of the show for me. Spider-Man was great, but it's always that colorful, family-friendly energy. Wolverine feels like Sony's saying, we're going to give you something heavier. Leo McIntyre voicing Logan is also a good choice. She's got that rasp and weight in his voice that fits his character.
I'm Liam McIntyre, and I played James Logan Howlett in Marvel's Wolverine.
With the fall 2026 release window, it feels like they're on track, and knowing Insomniac's track record, this one could end up being a game changer for superhero titles. So next, out of nowhere, Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 was announced for PS5. And honestly, I don't think I ever see a game running on PlayStation like that. It drops December 8th, and PSVR 2 support is coming in 2026. It's actually kind of like a quiet win for Sony players. Flight Sim has always been one of those games that people respect, even if they don't play it. The fact that it's making the jump over says a lot where the industry is headed. The exclusiveness isn't as rigid anymore, and if Microsoft is letting a flagship sim land on PS5, it makes me wonder what other games might cross over in the future. So next we got Code Vein 2. So Bandai Namco showed Code Vein 2, which launches January 30th, 2026. And I'll be real, the first game had style, but it wasn't perfect. It was like an anime Dark Souls, and some people loved it, some people didn't, but a sequel means enough players stuck with it. The footage looks cleaner this time, smoother animations and more customization. I'm not expecting it to be suddenly top tier like Souls-like, but if they polish it like the rough edges, this could hit harder than the original. Crimson Desert finally got a release date, March 19, 2026. This game has been actually teased for years. Pearl Abyss is mostly known for Black Desert, so seeing them push for a big single player RPG is kind of interesting. The thing is, big open worlds can feel overwhelming if they're not paced right. Crimson Desert looks like it's trying to blend in Witcher style storytelling and Assassin's Creed style freedom. That's a tall order, not gonna lie. If they nail it, it could be massive, but if they don't, it might just be another open world with too much going on. I'm cautiously excited for this. Okay, so next we got Deus Ex Remastered. So Deus Ex Remastered is dropping February 5th. For me, this is kind of a remaster that makes sense. The original was huge for shaping RPGs and how they handled player choice. Bringing it back with modern visuals and controls is a good move. It's not going to be the biggest game in the lineup, but it's one of those titles that adds weight to the overall show. For players who never touched the original, it's finally a chance to see why it's so influential without struggling with the old mechanics. So Sony also announced a God of War 20th anniversary DualSense controller. It's definitely more for collectors, but it's a nice nod to one of their biggest franchises. They also revealed the Pulse Elevate wireless speakers, not as exciting as the games, but Sony clearly wants to expand their hardware ecosystem beyond just headsets and controllers. We got smaller announcements too, Zero Prides for Dead Spies, The 7 Deadly Sins Origin, Let It Die Inferno, Neo 3, and some new content for Gran Turismo 7. These don't steal the spotlight, but they fill out the lineup and give fans of the franchises something to look forward to. Overall, the state of play was actually pretty good. Sorrows feels like Hearts Marquet's shot at moving to the big leagues. Wolverine is shaping up to be one of the most exciting superhero games in years, for me at least. Flight Simulator crossing over is a sign the industry is shifting. The mix of sequels, remasters, and hardware announcements made it feel complete. Not gonna lie, boys, 2026 is actually looking pretty good. But it's your boy Memories. Like, comment, subscribe. If you enjoyed the video, let me know in the comments below. If you're excited about anything that I said in this video, let me know below. And how did you guys feel about State of Play and the games I showed? By the way, it's your boy Memories. I'm out, y'all. Peace.